Good morning, friends. Welcome you all to this a special seminar on political science and the international relations. Optional subjects are always a great important thing for UPSC examination. Optional papers plays a very crucial role in UPSC examination. If you want to get a top rank, you have to score more marks in the UPSC examination. All the aspirants will have a very big issue in selecting what is the good optional papers for getting very good marks in the mains examination. So we are going to run a series of introduction about the various optional papers. Today we are going to discuss about the political science and international relations. So polity always plays an important role in the not only in the mains but also in the prelims. It plays a very major role in the prelims question papers. Almost the numbers are very high, and it varies from year to year. And lot of toppers have taken PSIR as their optional papers over the years, including the Ishita Kishore, who is All India rank one. Our optional paper was PSIR, and even Tina Davis optional paper is PSIR. So political science and international relations plays a very great role in securing the top 100th rank, or in fact you can say even in the top 1000 numbers. So today we have with us Mr. C. Surya to give an orientation program on the political science and international relationship topic. He has done his masters in political science from Madras Christian College, and he has done his UG also over there. And I would like to welcome him and to share few thoughts on this PSI papers. In fact, if you have any doubts, please interact and speak, and you can chat. Let this be an interactive sessions. Let it not be a monologue. Please ask whatever the doubts you have. We'll come back to you with the more details after a few minutes. Now it's over to Mr. Surya. Please come. அந்த பிபிடி வந்து அந்த பக்கத்தில் சேவ் பண்ணி பண்ணிக்கலாம்.
Present option இங்க present option இங்க வரும் சார். Good morning, everyone. This is Surya. I completed my master's in political science from University of Madras, and I did UG of BA Political Science in Madras Christian College. I have been in this UPSC field for almost 3 years. I have given 2 attempts to prelims, and now I came here to give an introduction for PSIR optional subject. So basically, our session will go with the structure of how to choose an optional, which is scoring marks, and it will give you greater marks in your total candidate list when you get top ranks. And then what is PSIR all about? How this PSIR subject is helpful for you when you go through GS, essays, interviews, and how these PSIR syllabus overlaps with the GS syllabus, and finally how to prepare for this PSIR subject. So this is how the session goes. If anyone has doubt, please uh, post in the comments. And if you also have any serious doubt, just ask in the last 10 minutes. We will have a question and answer session. So, um, first, how and why to choose an optional? In UPSC mains, you have two optional papers, which is paper 1 and paper 2. This optional paper has 250 marks each, so total it is 500. If you see most of the candidates who get into the UPSC list after cracking the UPSC exam, their marks comparatively high will be higher in optionals, because the optional paper which will be the decider factor for getting into the UPSC list. When choosing an optional is an important task, you need to check whether how you are capable in the subject, how relevant the subject is to you. And if you choose a particular optional subject, it must be a scoring subject. That is the important factor. For example, someone will say Tamil literature will be a good option for him or her, because they may be strong in that subject. So in that way, everyone choose optional subject, right? Um, so the importance of choosing an optional subject, again, it will be the comparatively higher marks scoring subject compared to GS and essays. Um, it will give you a higher marks in the total of 1750 marks. 1750 marks, which is each GS paper consists of 250 marks and one essay paper consists of 250 marks. It is total 1250. The rest of the 500 marks comes from optional subject. So if you see PSIR as an optional being chosen by many UPSC successful candidates, in the last 4 to 5 years, PSIR become a popular optional. It's not only in the last 5 years, even before it was chosen by many, but it was very chosen by very few. But in recent times, PSIR have been a popular subject among the candidates. I will tell you why, and why it is very popular right now as an optional subject. So, what are the advantages in choosing PSIR? If you see the syllabus of PSIR, it has part A and part B. The syllabus is divided into part A and part B. In that part A and part B, there are two sections. Each part have two sections. So totally there are 4 sections. If you see those 4 sections and compare it with the GS syllabus, it overlaps almost around 60 to 70% of the topics are overlaps. They are similar. Anyhow, you will study a particular topic in either GS or PSIR. It will definitely help you to prepare for both the optional and the GS papers. So this is the advantage of choosing PSIR. In the later, we will understand how it is advantageous. So basically, what is this political science and international relations all about? As a subject, what is it? Uh, so let's take an example. It is a car. It is a car consists of many components. Say it is engine, wheel, steering, everything. Everything is important. When you study a particular component, say engine, it is a very important part. Without that component, it cannot function. The whole mechanism cannot function, right? In GS paper, See, what is federalism? There's a question related to federalism. You will write the answer, which is very what the question demands. You will write it in a particular way. For example, discuss about competitive federalism in southern states. If it is a question like that, you will go on to write what is competitive federalism and what are the states, how it functions in that way. You will know what is it. That's a basic understanding. When you study PSIR, you will know the whole political system. The whole political system, I mean, in the national level. So, if you take the same example of federalism, if the federalism is functioning in a particular way, how it was created, how it was before, how it is compared with other countries, how India has a particular federalism is different from Australia, US, when it was started, in which period, what is the role of union or central government when it is a federal setup of government. So in that way, we will learn very broadly, which is the broad structure. So with the example of the car, when you prepare for GS, it is a particular, very particular, specialized study where you will learn a particular thing, particular concept, particular phenomenon. But when you study PSIR, you will study as a whole. You will know the whole background that holds that particular every components. This is what you will learn in a PSIR. It will not be confined within a national setup or a local setup. You will go beyond the international relations, international arena, and you will go beyond world history, where it starts. PSIR, you will learn from since ancient Greek political history, from then till now. You will get a broader understanding, and that broader understanding, which will not help only in optional, also in GS, essays, even in interviews. This is the peculiarity of PSIR. There are two sections in PSIR with respect to the syllabus. For the mains exam, you will write two papers, which is paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1, you will have part A and part B, and paper 2 will have part A, part B. Here in this paper 1 of part A, political theory and Indian politics, around 60 to 70% of the syllabus overlaps with the GS paper 2. And the political theory here, which it means the concepts, the terminologies, for example, what is liberty, what is justice. In that way, you will learn these concepts, and these concepts will also help you in GS4 when you write for the ethics paper. This is how it overlaps. The same part B, Indian government and politics, it completely overlaps with the GS2 syllabus. The overlap, which I mean, you need to study you can spend time only with the PSIR, so that you will get a broad understanding, broad knowledge, and through the GS paper questions in the mains, you will answer with the sharp and exact answers. Same in the paper 2, in part A, which is comparative politics and international relations. Comparative politics is nothing but we will compare our political system with other countries. For example, why US have presidential form of government and we have prime minister form of government, parliamentary form of government. So what is the difference between this? Why president have so much power in USA, and why president of India has very less power? So this is a kind of comparative politics. We will not only study about the government, we will study about the judiciary, legislature, party system. This is all about. And the international relations, which is the geopolitics, which is now occurring around the world, the Strait of Hormuz, the Russia-Ukraine war, how this affects our our day-to-day life, our political system. In that way, we will learn through other international aspects. And India and the world. In part B, we will learn the bilateral relations and multilateral relations which India maintain with other countries. Um, for the even with the regional organizations like ASEAN, G7, G20, how India maintain its relationship with being in SCO, BRICS, and also in Quad in that way. So this is how the part B consists of. With respect to trends in PSAR, in the recent times we have a lot of data which shows that PSAR is become an advantageous optional paper. In prelims, with Indian polity under the Indian polity topic, you will get around 12 to 15 questions every year on an average. 12 to 15 questions you will get from only in Indian polity. Then in international relations, around 7 to 10 questions you will get in prelims as a prelims question. So totally you will get around 25 questions, which is totally 50 marks. This 50 marks you cannot mm, go away from this PSAR subject. Anyhow, this PSAR subject will cover, and you will get a broad understanding with the addition of learning current affairs. So this is how it helps. PSAR helps in prelims preparation. When it comes to mains, there are two papers, right? In paper one and paper two, totally 500 marks. In that 500 marks, on an average, each candidate would get 275 marks. I mean, each candidate, the persons who got selected in the UPC list, they on an average they get 275 marks, which is higher, which is comparatively higher with other optional subjects. This is a peculiarity of this PSAR. On an average, this is 275. It may also increase to 300 to 320 marks when you choose a PSAR. This average, which is calculated through the last 3 years of marks, last 3 years, who the candidates who got into the UPSC list, on an average they get 275 marks, which is comparatively higher. Yeah, and the another thing is you will get the GS marks comparatively higher. Um, for you, if you check the marks of the UPSC candidate list who took PSIR and got into the UPSC list, their GS marks have comparatively increased when you because both the subject overlaps and it helps each other. So you learn very broadly, a very strong conceptual understanding you will get. Through that, the GS marks also increases. No, all four GS papers. Um, so this optional paper just consists of 30% of the marks. If you take any optional, of the total marks, say you got around 1,000 marks in the total UPSC list, around those 1,000 marks, 30%, that is 300 marks, you will get only through your optional marks. So this is the weightage of this optional subject. But when you took PSIR, when you get an average of 275 marks, which can extend up to 300 to 320, this is a bigger opportunity. You can score both in GS papers and in optional. In the last 4 years, the candidates who took PSIR from 2022 now 2025, almost around the top 20 candidates, from 2 to 3 candidates who have chosen PSIR. This is a increasing trend. Say in 2022, AIR1 who took PSIR as an optional, and in the recent 2025, AIR9 have taken PSIR as an optional. This doesn't mean that only the top candidates have chosen this PSIR candidate. Many around in an average every year, the UPSC list the UPC candidates who took um, the UPC candidate list who succeed in this UPC exam, they many will choose PSIR. But when you this data is from only the top 20 candidates. In that top 20 candidates, around 2 to 3 candidates who have chosen PSIR. This is an increasing trend. Let's see the syllabus which overlaps with the prelims GS papers and how it overlaps with the PSIR and the prelims syllabus. Here in Indian Constitution, you will study both in PSIR and also for the prelims preparation. In prelims preparation, you need a very uh, a shorter preparation, but when you prepare for PSIR as a whole, you will understand the whole Indian Constitution from different perspectives, from different narratives. You will learn through this PSIR subject, and then later when you study for Indian Constitution, you will get fundamental rights, DPSP and amendments, international organizations, world affairs, current affairs, national movement, public policy, Panchayat Raj and governance. These are just a gist of prelims syllabus which overlaps with the PSIR. These prelim syllabus may have some 30 to 40% with the current affairs questions. With the inculcation of current affairs questions, it merges and give you a stronger preparation for prelims. But the same in mains paper in GS1, which is you will have Indian society, modern Indian history, world history. In there, in modern Indian history, you will read about freedom struggle. Freedom struggle is an important topic in modern Indian history. With the same, you will learn in PSIR with Indian nationalism. See, freedom struggle and Indian nationalism is different. When you study PSIR, you will see the differences between Indian nationalism and freedom struggle. But freedom struggle is one of the aspects from the Indian nationalism. This is how you will learn. At the same, with the car example, you will study the whole structure of Indian nationalism. The sum of with the particular aspect of freedom struggle, you will learn. The important thing which you need to know is with regard to UPSC preparation. Say there is a freedom struggle topic given in the main syllabus. There, the UPSC exam will not ask only with regard to freedom struggle. It will go deeper. The answers which you write are expected to be very broad. For example, if you study only freedom struggle for the mains exam and you go and write for the GS1, there you are expected to outmaster other candidates. The invigilator will check that how much knowledge you know compared to others, how much knowledge you know higher than other candidates. This is how the invigilator checks. So when you study only freedom struggle, which will not be a proper preparation, but you need to study in depth of the Indian history. When you choose PSIR as an optional, you will go in depth and you will learn you will have a broader understanding of this Indian nationalism. So this is the peculiarity of PSIR with regard to modern Indian history. And in Indian society, here the caste, religion, ethnicity in Indian politics, which aligns with the salient features of Indian society, diversity of India. Here this PSIR, you will learn about the caste, religion, ethnicity, all these multicultural aspects, not only focusing on Indian society, also comparing with other societies, the problems which occurred. This is how the syllabus goes. And the social movements, women's movements, environmental movements. In the political science, we will learn 3 waves of feminism. The first wave, which fought for the political rights. The second wave fought for cultural rights, and third wave for another kind of rights. So there are three waves of feminism which occurred in the world histories. The same we will learn in the PSIR, and we will connect it with the Indian feminism. With regard to Indian political thought, we will learn among the Indian personalities who have a who have did greater contribution to the Indian society. M.N. Roy, Mahatma Gandhi, Ambedkar, Nehru. So these thinkers will also help us in writing for essays and ethics paper, because their ideas, morality, ethics are also helpful for us to learn and contribute and write it to in the GS papers, which is very important aspect. The same we will learn these thinkers, not only Indian political thinkers, also Western political thinkers like Karl Marx, John Locke, Aristotle, Plato. These thinkers will also be covered, and which is helpful in GS 4 ethics and other papers too. In GS paper 2, which I said before, the paper 1 of part B overlaps completely with the GS paper 2. The constitutional features, fundamental rights, TPSP, parliamentary system, which has a greater contribution in the PSIR when you learn for it. In GS paper 3, you will have economic, disaster management, security studies. Here, same. For example, you will learn about the terrorism. In the political philosophy, you don't have a proper definition for terrorism. There's no proper definition for terrorism. And we will learn what are the types of terrorism where India faces. What is the state-sponsored terrorism, and how the state sponsors terrorism is different from Maoism. How this Maoism is different from Veerappan group. This is how we will learn, and how this is different from Northeast insurgency. This is how the PSIR syllabus goes, and we will get a broader understanding of this. PSIR also connects with environment, where GS paper 3 has an environmental study, where we will learn ecologism. Ecologism is different from environmentalism. What is the difference? Which I said before, ecologism is a study of how to value the nature, not just only prepare for, not just only rectify the repairing issues. For example, if there is a road pollution existing in Delhi, there only controlling the pollution through the smoke absorbers or any water sprinkling, that's not ecologism talks about. The actions which the repair works are taken, which is called as environmentalism. But in ecologism, which talks about changing of the whole structure. Changing of the whole structure, I mean, with taking the same example of ecologism, same example of Delhi air pollution, the changes which e-vehicles, using of e-vehicles, the government's change in the government structure, change in the administration, everything as a whole. This is we will talk about through the ideologies aspect. We will get in the PSIR. Next, in ethics paper, the concepts which we learn in the PSIR, say equality, rights and human rights, democracy and power, justice, liberalism, liberty, how different liberalism and liberty. So these concepts will help us to write an ethics paper, and also the case studies which will through the preparation of ethics paper we will get through uh, 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 values which will learn through the course of PSIR preparation. So this is how PSIR helps you in a larger way um, for all the GS papers. Before going to the GS paper, I forgot to mention the contribution when you choose PSIR uh, and write it with the essay paper. In essay paper, same you will learn the essay paper questions, which is very concise and sharp. But we need to write it on our own interpretation with also the UPSC's expectation. In that sense, when you write an UPSC essay paper, there you need a lot of conceptual understanding, a lot of examples, a lot of broad view of that. The same way PSIR helps you in essay, and when you start writing for essays, you will get to learn that the most of the contribution comes from the PSIR. So this is the peculiarity of this PSIR optional paper. So now the how to prepare for PSIR paper. The first thing which you need every PSIR student need is a conceptual clarity, because in political philosophy you will learn a lot of terms and conceptual frameworks, which is very time consuming. But that time consuming need to be given by every UPSC candidate, because when you when you grasp the concept and terms, you will learn a lot. You will it will reflect you. It will give you marks in wherever it is possible. Even in prelims, even in GS papers, essays, even in interviews. So most of the questions in interviews, which will be related to current affairs or any uh, the optional subject which you've chosen, also from the GS paper questions. In that way, when the interview questions are given, these conceptual clarity you will learn in the PSAR help you in giving a very good answers. The next step is to study by combining GS paper and PSAR. You need not to separate have a separate study for GS and PSAR. You can learn that wherever the syllabus overlaps, you can learn at one single point of time, and then you can focus and give time for other aspects. For example, you can give for essay preparation, for the prelims preparation. So this is how it overlaps. So it gives a lot of time saving thing for you. Same the next.
Slide more.
Others.
இது நம்ம ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட்ல தான் இருக்கு. இப்பதான் பார்த்தேன். இதுல செக் பண்ணிக்கோ. வரதா பாரு.
Change others.
அது இல்ல. ஆகுது ரைட். ஓகே. ஓகே.
Orange.
எனக்கு ஆகுது.
ஆகுது சார்.
இதுல ஆகும்.
இல்ல நான் இப்போ சேஞ்ச் பண்றேன்.
அது டைலர் ஆகும்.
Change others.
இது பார்த்து
Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. Just a technical issue. Yeah. So the study by combining GS paper and PSIR will give you a lot of time saving thing, and you can focus on the answer writing thing, the current affairs preparation, and for other UPSC preparation aspects. So this is one significant thing. When it comes to answer writing, when you write for PSI or optional papers, you also have the idea of how to write a GS paper. But it is very important to know that the answer writing for GS paper and PSIR is different. The preparation strategy, the writing strategy is different. But when you write for the PSIR conceptual things, you will get a very proper practical knowledge how to apply these concepts wherever possible. This kind of uh, advantageous thing you will have when you write for the answer writing. But it is very important to know that answer writing for GS and PSIR is different. The style is different. Um, Same in PSIR, you will write in depth, but in GS you will write very what is to be written, what the question demands, and only you will write the question what the question demands, but you will not write the whole structure. It is advisable that when you write for answer writing, also you can pour out your knowledge, even when you have a time when you have a um, ample amount of time. Yeah. Integrated study method, the another step, which is wherever the portion overlaps for the optional and GS paper, integrated study method is important. When you study for modern Indian history, there studying about Indian nationalism, what are the historical events, and also studying with uh, the freedom struggle of modern Indian history is very important. Studying wherever the see you have in GS paper you have some concepts, and in PSIR you have some concepts. Integrating both is very important for both the subjects, both the optional and the GS paper. Current affairs preparation. Um, right now, we have a lot of political issues in national and international level. Here, preparation for current affairs, also seeing with the different conceptual uh, view from different ideologies. For example, there is a geopolitical event happening near West Asia. There, seeing through liberal point of view and through the theocratic point of view, Islamic theocratic point of view is different. The narratives is different. So, approaching this current affairs and preparing for this current affairs is very important. This lens of viewing through different lens will be given by through the PSA or optional, and collecting these current affairs and applying this current affairs to the GS papers and PSA or optional for examples is very important. Yeah. So this is all about the PSA or optional. If you have any doubts, please post it in the comments. We'll discuss it now. Sir, I hope there's no questions right now.
And so new batches start on join from the
Okay, in the upcoming days, we are about to join. We are about to open a new college batches, uh, especially for the college students. Um, Please contact us through the email, call, phone number.
760 number.
Yeah, type it. I'm typing the number which you can contact it later.
And this is a monthly current affairs magazine. Just show it to them. That we are giving every month we are giving this magazine to the students. Just show it to them.
Another important update: every month we will publish a monthly current affairs book. Through this, you can learn and prepare for UPSC exam. Learning monthly current affairs book is very important for prelims and mains preparation. We Rajasekhar IAS Academy publish it monthly. Please get it from the academy.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Game cover. Call them.
Thank you, everyone.